Am I the a-hole for telling my mother-in-law that she's not going to be in the room when I give birth?
Bye, Mom.
This comes from Stardust 1839. And they say, before I begin, I need to clarify that I'm a trans man. I was AFAB, but transitioned about 5 years ago. AFAB? Assigned female at birth. I, 30 male, am 38 weeks pregnant with mine and my husband James's 33 male first child. We had talked about children before I transitioned, and we both said we wanted them. After I transitioned, he asked me if I would be okay with carrying our child. And if I'm not, we would look into other options. I told him I still wanted to carry our child as I always wanted to experience it. I haven't started on T or gotten surgery because I wanted to wait until I had kids. And I didn't mind waiting either. I feel somewhat okay in my body, and whenever I do feel dysphoric, my husband is always there to help me.
Support, baby.
So sounds like OP presents as a man, but hasn't done any surgery or any or any medication.
And OP is like, I'm okay with this. I do want to be able to have my children. I can wait. And I can wait.
Yeah. When I transitioned, James was and still is very supportive. However, his family did not take it well. They continue to call me by my dead name, along with the wrong pronouns. Whenever James or I correct them, they bring up the fact that I don't have the right parts, and I don't look or sound like a man either.
Oh boy.
It upset me at the start as I had been very close with his family, but now I've gotten used to it and do my best to ignore it. James, however, can't get past it. And when someone says something, he ends up arguing with them, which sounds like OP's husband is kind of going to bat.
Which is good.
Which is good. When we told his family that I was pregnant, they were all excited, as this was the first baby born into the family. My mother-in-law especially was very excited and began telling me about different things I need to do to keep the baby healthy. As the months passed, though, I kept hearing comments about me being a mom, even though I made it clear that I want the baby to call me Papa or Dad. I've been told that I can't have a silly surgery to remove my breasts because I need them to feed my baby. Also, they're glad I came to my senses about pretending to be a man. We found out we were having a little boy. And almost I don't think we've ever read a story like this.
This is a first.
This is an incredibly unique story.
This is a very unique story.
We found out we were having a little boy, and almost instantly we picked a name for him. We both love anything to do with space, and we wanted our firstborn to have a space-related name, so we named it after Elon Musk. So we decided that our little boy would be called Leo, after the constellation. My mother-in-law wasn't happy with that name and started calling him Isaac.
Bro!
Have your own kid then.
Do it!
No, my brother. You got to get your own.
Leo's cool.
Leo's a cool name.
Yes.
Leo's a cool name.
It all works.
James and I corrected her numerous times, telling her that it wasn't our son's name, but she wouldn't listen.
I feel like this is pettiness.
Yeah. I see. This is classic mother-in-law behavior.
Yep.
She got a blanket, a few onesies, and a teddy bear with the name Isaac engraved on them. She told us that when we see him, we'll see that she was right, and that we'll name him Isaac. Dude, how is this mother-in-law so daft?
Truly.
Imagine you're like, oh, what's your little boy's name? And it's like, oh, yeah, this is Leo. Nah, doesn't look like a Leo.
No.
It looks more like an Isaac.
Let's name him Isaac.
I got this present that reaffirms that.
Hey, give me his birth certificate. Let me just scratch that out and put Isaac on it.
It's an Isaac.
This to me is just again a further like subconscious-y petty dig at OP.
And I feel like it's in an effort to maintain control of the relationship that it seems like mother-in-law has not come to terms with.
Yeah, and continue to push the disapproval on it.
We decided to do a hospital birth, and my mother-in-law demanded that she be in the room so she could see her first grandchild being born. Neither James or I want her there. We wanted to be a special moment with just the two of us. She would not take no for an answer. Last week, we were at their house for dinner, and she began bragging to the rest of the family that she would be there when I had a baby. James snapped and told her she wasn't going to be there, especially with how she treated me over the past few years with my transition. She got upset and yelled at him about being an important moment for her. But how about an important moment for the parents? But James wasn't having it, and they both got into a pretty heated argument. I had enough and told her to F off and take no for an answer, or she wasn't going to see her grandson ever again. She started crying, and I received multiple glares from the rest of the family. James and I left, and neither of us spoke during the ride home. But when he got home, he said he was sorry for how he acted, and he didn't mean to upset me. I told him it wasn't his fault, and he had every right to say something. We spent the night cuddled in bed, watching TV, and feeling our son kick.
Dude, James is a ride or die.
Yeah, dude. James.
A ride or die.
James is sick.
He's out here.
In the last few days, I've received numerous messages from people telling me that I shouldn't have threatened my mother-in-law. Wait, threatened?
What do you like? Not seeing. You will never see my kid again.
Well, I mean, if you keep acting crazy and calling my son not by their name, then
yeah,
what do you expect?
Honestly, it's like it's getting to a point where if they're just gonna constantly harass you for the rest of time, when do you go no contact?
Yeah,
that
exactly.
To me is I'm waiting to kind of see where that line
and
is.
Like I also don't feel it was an idle threat. It was like stop doing this, or we won't want to be part of your life.
Yeah, it was more of like, I mean, yeah, I guess it was a threat to take something away, but it's like a.
But it's not. Yeah, it's not. It doesn't like a threat.
Yeah, threat is the wrong word.
When I heard the word threat, I'm like, wait, did OP like say I'm going to like push you into a ditch or something?
I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah,
no,
exactly. I'm gonna give you the 1-2 diddly do. Like, what are we talking about?
They told me I shouldn't have threatened my mother-in-law, and I had no right to do that, and that I should apologize. I've even gotten messages from some of our friends who heard the story from James's sisters. I replied saying that she needed to apologize for overstepping and not listening to a word James or I had said. The responses to that weren't kind, and I haven't replied. I keep being bombarded with messages, and now James is as well. So did we go too far? Should we apologize for how we handled the situation? James says no, but I don't know what to do. And there is a pretty juicy update. But everyone in the comments, what do you think OP should do? John, what do you think?
They've been harassing OP since before the baby. She's now using the stupid name thing as an excuse to harass him about the baby. Like at the end of the day, like these are the parents of the child, and you're not entitled to anything. Yeah,
really, what you should be doing is you should be making their lives easier, and you have only caused stress and destruction.
And like, yes, there is like generally this default of like, oh, the like if your family, you get to, you know, see the child and be involved and active in their lives. But
if you're not an a-hole, though,
if you're not an a-hole, which absolutely in all of these instances, the mother-in-law has been. So absolutely not. They deserve to have their piece on the most stressful day probably of both of their lives. 100%, without a doubt.
But John,
Sam,
there is a juicy, thick update. I want to start off by saying thank you for the support. It really means a lot. Okay, so James went over to his parents a couple of days after my post to pick some things up. I don't know what they talked about, but when he came home, he was pissed and told me that we were never going to see them again.
Oh.
I didn't argue with him, but later that night, I asked what had happened. And all he said was, I can't believe those people are related to me. I didn't ask anything else and just hugged him tightly.
Wow.
Which I feel like is also the appropriate response. Like sometimes like you don't go into the details of someone who had just gone over something super emotional. Like the part like OP is just like, I don't need to know. I just need to know I need to hold you, which is kind of fire.
Damn.
That
hit me. That hit me.
Yeah. A few days later, I went into labor. James and I didn't tell anyone, and we spent the next 34 hours together. And when our beautiful baby boy made his appearance, it was just us, just like we wanted. And it was amazing.
Oh.
I was able to go home 2 days after I gave birth. And when we arrived home, we found James's family in our living room.
Come on!
We never gave any of them a key to our house.
Oh.
The only people to have keys are me and James.
Call police.
So the family broke in. James was furious. Imagine just having a baby,
bro,
and you have to deal with burglars.
You're like, I want to go home and they've been in there for 34 hours.
I want to go home and relax.
Rest.
And I was like, hey, even if these people were angels and had only been nice, imagine the craziest ordeal, so many hours in labor, tears shed,
Yep.
emotional roller coaster. And you come home just wanting to relax. And then just like all of your family just be like,
I got to entertain these freaking fools.
Yeah.
Get out of my face.
Get out. And the fact that these people are horrible it makes it even more stressful.
Yes.
James was furious and started telling them to leave, but they refused to go. Not only do you have burglars, you got squatters.
Yeah. Double whammy.
They tried to see Leo, which I guess they're calling Isaac, but James pulled the cover on the baby carrier down, which blocked their view of him. You don't even get to see him.
Right.
They started yelling, demanding that we show them Leo. Bro, it's not the Snyder cut. Like, you can't just be like, release Leo.
You can't do
Let
it.
us see it.
Can't do it.
You know about the Snyder cut?
Oh.
Yeah, okay. You know about the Snyder cut, Riley?
Zack
Okay.
Snyder.
James's mom called Leo Isaac again and said it was right to see him as his grandmother. James handed the carrier to me and told me to go to the bedroom with Leo. I didn't hesitate and left the room. I heard shouting coming from both James and his family. James threatened them by saying he'd call the cops if they didn't go, and that got them shut up. About 15 minutes later, I heard the front door open and close, and James came upstairs. When he stepped into the bedroom, he just broke down. He collapsed onto the ground and sobbed. My heart broke, and I hurried over to him and held him in my arms. He kept apologizing to me over and over. And when I said it was okay and we figured something out, he just kept saying no and apologizing again.
What's up, James? Something's going on. Something's about to go very wrong.
When he calmed himself down, he told me he just wanted his family to be happy for him, to love him, and to respect him. He kept thinking of what he did wrong to make them feel this way. And the longer he did that, he began to get upset again. I stopped him, and I firmly told him he didn't need them, that his family was right here, that me and Leo aren't going anywhere, and will always love him. We spent the rest of the day in bed talking about what to do with Leo between us. Since that day, we've been in contact with the police, and they've been so helpful and kind about our situation. This is actually really cute.
Right?
It's been hard on James, but he knows it's best for us to not contact them anymore. We hope this will be done soon, and we can put it behind us and focus on the future. But for now, we're enjoying being family of 3 and doting on our little boy every chance we get.
Wow.
If the crucible of a terrible family doesn't bring someone together, if that ain't the cutest thing.
Oh,
Sometimes a poopy family, you know what they serve to do? Bring you closer together.
truly.
And that's feel like what happened. That's what's happened here.
You know, when the rubber meets the road, you learn who your real family is.
Mhm.
And I think literally all they did is harass and demand. No love, no support. So, and dude, James rode so hard for
hard.
OP, and like, the moment when James broke down was like,
Yeah.
I just want my family to love me.
Don't we all?
Dude.
It's just such like it's just a human thing. It's
But-
just a human thing. We just want our families to love them.
It seems like they've got this beautiful little family unit, and I think they got all the support and love they need right there.
They got like, you can hear the love.
Oh yeah.
You can hear the
Oh, yeah.
love.
Beautiful.
And that is amazing.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what do you think? How do you think OP handled it? What do you think of the mother-in-law? Is OP the a-hole?
Would you have left earlier? I think what, like, you know what I mean? Or sorry, would you have gone no contact earlier?
Probably. Or no, I think this is the exact breaking point I probably would have chosen.
Yeah, yeah.
Because everything else is like kind of crazy and wild, but
You're like trying
no
to give them a
contact.
chance.
Yeah, try to give them a chance.
Yeah.
Like, they're old people. They maybe have like backwards beliefs and are just excited about the baby. But this is like, oh no, this is a line that has been stepped, and they need to be put in timeout for at least a while.
But it ended up bringing OP's little family unit closer together.
Yeah. But you know what brings our family unit closer together?
What is that, Sam?
When you subscribe.
Oh my God!
Become part of the family. Opt in, or we'll show up to your house after your firstborn is born and say, "Why haven't you subscribed?"
I'm gonna look like this. Why haven't you subscribed? What are you doing? You gotta hit the splendidly angry. Would I be the a-hole for asking my brother not to bring his husband to my wedding because of my fiance's homophobic family? This comes from Ertsunu, who says, my fiance and I are a few months into planning our wedding, and we are now deciding on who we are inviting.
A very turbulent task.
Indeed. My fiance comes from a super conservative and religious background, but has thankfully grown away from that. Otherwise, I couldn't marry her. Her parents, however, are still super conservative and homophobic and delight in talking crap and all sorts of horrible things about the LGBT community. Other members of her family are like this as well, some more violently vocal than others. Well, for our wedding, we have decided everyone we invite can bring a +1, subject to our approval, of course. I thought about it for a really long time about my older brother and his husband. They've been married for 3 years, and I don't want his husband to attend with him.
Because of the conservative family.
It seems like this might be the case. OP goes on saying, the drama, if they attend together, has the potential to get out of hand, and that is something I don't want to have to deal with on my wedding day. My fiance also agrees with me on this.
That is a pickle.
Dude, what a rock and a hard place.
That is a pickle. It's like you support their relationship, but you want all of your family to be there.
And it's also like this is your hopefully once in a lifetime and one day experience.
Planning a wedding is already so stressful, and
you don't want potentially the brother and the brother's husband to
feel left out.
And on the flip side, go there and maybe feel ostracized or like harassed or worse by the family, dude. I mean,
yeah, and like you couldn't not invite certain people, but then that creates a whole. This is just. Oh man,
let's just uninvite everyone from the wedding. Let's
really
make this as simple as possible.
I mean, you could just not invite the people that would cause a ruckus.
Yeah, to be honest, it's really making me think more about the tight friends and family vibe.
Yeah.
Like, man,
it's like if someone would do that at your wedding, do you want them there? But what if it's like your super close friends and family?
You know what the problem is? It's
or not friends, but maybe family.
Yeah, the problem is it's OP's fiance's family, right? Let me triple check myself there. Yeah, my fiance comes from a super conservative and a religious background,
and it's like then basically you're like, oh yeah, your whole family can't come because they're all gonna be mean.
Like, I feel like that's something. If it was OP's family, it's like, yeah, let's get him out of here. I'm close with my brother. I don't care about some distant cousins, uncles, whatever that
but
are
this
like
is his whole family,
not the vibe. But it is the fiance's family. So low key, the fiance. I mean, I think it's fair to suggest it.
I'm really curious what all of you would do,
or if you've been in the situation,
or if you've been in the situation,
yeah.
I mean, like, I guess that brother could potentially just say, like, I'll just bring my boyfriend or husband?
It was the brother and the brother's husband.
You could say, like, I'm going to bring my husband as a +1 friend.
I don't think it works. I think because, like, once it gets out, like you're bringing your husband at the end of the day.
Would people be like really that up in arms about this?
I honestly don't think so.
You think so?
I think so.
But do you think someone would not just like be maybe like quietly disgruntled or whatever?
You think
versus
someone would be actively disgruntled?
Depending on the family, some people like cannot get past it, and it's pretty.
Here's what I think. I think we don't know 100%. Maybe we'll get more context. It seems like maybe OP doesn't vibe with those family members. OP's fiance, the bride, doesn't vibe with those family members. You sit down with your fiance and you say, hey, what do you think about, how would you feel if we did not invite those family members? Just simply ask.
And maybe just like if everyone is going to be on the side of disgruntlement, just invite the people that will be silently disgruntled rather than actively disgruntled.
Or like really sit down and like, does the
you want them
fiance
to be
really,
there?
is it just a, oh, I have to invite them kind of thing? And if so, maybe it's just like, do we really want those people at our wedding celebrating our life? Or do we want my brother who we actually love and rock with?
Yeah.
That's the first thing I would do.
Yeah. It's also his family.
It's not his family. It's
Or
not
the fiance. No, it's the
not
fiance's family.
It's the fiance's family.
It's like,
yeah.
that's
But-
what I'm saying. Like, it's also the fiance's family. So like,
But do you, okay, like, but if you literally don't like your family and it's an obligation, like, again, you can't
Yeah.
blame someone for wanting to.
well, I
but
wonder, does OP like their family? That's the question.
We can't not invite her parents. Okay, good context to know it's the parents. And we can't not invite my brother. So we feel our only option was to not invite his husband, the brother's husband. Who knows what could be said or done if he attends. And yeah, we are being selfish, but it's our wedding. I'm not really sure how he'll react, though. It took my brother a long time to accept himself. Oh, and I'm sure this won't feel good.
I hate this. This sucks.
Right? But at the same time, maybe his husband won't want to attend anyways. I have nothing against my brother's husband. He is a lovely man, but we are just trying to have the day go smoothly. When we extended invitations out, I think I'm going to my brother in person and ask him not to bring his husband for all of the reasons above. Would I be the a-hole if I asked him not to bring his husband? We have a verdict from the post, and we have relevant comments coming up, but
I wonder if you could
a-hole
just be.
or not.
It feels like you don't want to like fight for it. 'Cause
Yeah.
the only thing that's bothering you is what other people think, and you have the option to not let that influence you. And you can have the option to ask them to leave.
This decision to not invite your brother actually goes against your values, or your brother's boyfriend.
Like it almost feels like he's like, oh, I disagree so much with the family on things they say about the LGBT community, and then he's like, yeah, we don't want to deal with all of this.
It sounds like you don't rock with your. It's like if this was my sister, like I would like not even a question make sure that my sister was there with whoever she wanted to be with. But then I think maybe my sister would be like, oh, like I also want to make your wedding easy.
Yeah, I think you know. Okay, here we go. I think I got it. Yes, you're the a-hole because you didn't sit down and kind of have like a heart to heart first and kind of try to figure out.
Talk to the brother.
Like what if, let's say one hypothetical, you talk to the brother and you're like, hey, there's going to be all of this mess. Like, how do you feel? Is there any, like, do you have any, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do, but also like, do you have any preference? And maybe the brother is like, honestly, I hate dealing with homophobic people and I would rather just go by myself and support you versus you having to be the one that like initiates it.
You could kick it into his court.
Yeah. I think
it's a sucky situation to be in for sure.
It is. And I really do empathize with OP here.
But if you care about your brother, the conversation before you make a decision, you should have a conversation with him.
I think you should have a conversation. I think honestly, talking to your fiance and being like, yo, can we tell your parents like, hey, of course, you know, we want you there. You're her parents, and I'm guessing they're supportive otherwise. But like, this is our day, and you are not to say anything or do anything to OP's brother and OP's brother's husband. Like, let them be in peace. Like, otherwise, you're gonna like ruin our day and like cause a rift in our relationship. Just you know, leave them alone.
I would almost like. Do you even want those people at your wedding? I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I like. It was.
I guess
parents.
if you have to invite the parents. I think I have a call with them. It's like, hey, my fiance's brother is going to be at the wedding. You have to be okay with that if you want to attend.
Yes, absolutely.
Instead of uninviting someone who you actually care about and who if you did not invite, you would go against your values. Talk to the people who don't represent those values.
Yes.
And say, I will invite you, but these are the circumstances that you are invited under.
You're punishing, quote unquote, the wrong person here.
You're punishing the wrong person.
Yeah.
You're punishing the wrong person.
Like, yeah, the parents deserve some repercussion. Like, how selfish that like the parents let their own bigotry overtake their love and want for their child to have the most beautiful, easiest, most amazing day possible.
Yeah. And I think I have a feeling that maybe they will be silently, angry or disgruntled, but I think if you have that conversation, unless they're really crazy. Well, but also that conversation will inform if you can actually invite them.
And I would say this is also a great test on the parents.
Yes.
Because if the parent says, like, if you say like, hey, I love my brother. I love my brother's husband. Give us this day and, just
our daily bread.
Don't bring any problems to the wedding. And the parents are like, we would never imagine
doing like that one.
The parents say we would never imagine doing something that would ruin your day. So we're here to do that. You pass the test, right? Or if they're like, no, we're going to say what we want. We're going to do what we want.
I really like where we came to.
Yeah. Talk to the parents.
Talk to the parents and also talk to the brother and then say like, hey, this is what we've talked to the parents about.
Is OP the a-hole?
I think now that we've kind of tossed around, I'm going to say yes, because you are punishing the wrong person.
I would agree. But we have some relevant comments, ladies and gentlemen. First one from Backstage Ninja. You're the a-hole. I understand it's to make life easier for a day. That should be important to you, but honestly, it's still a crappy thing to do. Your wife needs to tell her family to just not be a-holes for 5 hours out of their lives. Noisome Wind says, you're the a-hole. We might just be getting a chorus of you're the a-holes. And also for context, the verdict on the post was also a-hole, like the overall consensus. Instead of disinviting the bigots who would cause problems, you're choosing to disinvite a decent person who happens to be gay. Let me ask you, OP, are you going to exclude your brother and his family from every family event from now on?
That also is another great point.
Yep.
Like, I think stick with your values.
Stick with your values. If those are actually your values. Birthdays, holidays, what happens if you have kids? Will you exclude them from your kids' lives because your wife's family thinks they'll be a bad influence? What if your kids are LGBT? Will you cut off your wife's family then? Or will you let them mistreat your own children? What do you think your exclusion of your brother's husband will teach your kids? This is not the only time their beliefs will cause problems, and you need to think about how you're going to proceed from here on out and the consequences your choices will have in years to come. OP responds, this is a good point. I never thought of it this way, actually.
That's good.
Coming
OP,
around.
We're learning. And hey, you know what? We were tossing around a bunch of different ideas. Yeah. I think it took us a sec to realize like how to navigate this properly, because a wedding is so there's so many emotions and things tied to a wedding. So
it deserves sitting down and really putting some good thought into it. Pleasant Edition says, OP, consider that you're siding with the people who are more bigoted than Mike effing Pence. OP says, noted. CRJ G95 says, if they were massive racists, would you ban all black people from your wedding to keep them happy? OP says, no.
There we go. Yeah.
Hypoxiate says, you're the a-hole. Wow, you'll make the appearance of siding with homophobes rather than being inclusive. You're clearly not as open-minded as you think you are. OP says, maybe I'm not. Honestly, everyone's responses really are making me second guess my decision. We're thinking, we're hearing. Pants Sup Fritz says, you're the a-hole so much. It's hard to believe this is real. Be prepared to never speak to your brother again if you go through with this. What a slap in the face to him and his husband. It isn't their fault your in-laws can't control their bigotry for one day. Opie says, I do realize that maybe I am going about this wrong. It's giving me a chance to think about it. Pants Up Fritz says, I'm so happy to hear that. Thanks for listening.
This is okay. Like, this person, this is good.
We're having the conversation.
This is what it looks like to have a conversation.
Yes.
You're presented with an idea, a situation that you have maybe never experienced before, and you are going to the internet for legitimate help, and people are giving you legitimate advice, and you're taking it. Like, that's what this is for. It's not just for just like tearing people down.
Yes, you're taking this criticism and being like, maybe this is something that I can use and learn from, and Do it to save me from making wrong decision.
Yeah.
What a blessing.
What a blessing.
What a blessing. OP responds, I might think about looking into some security or something like that just in case.
Not a bad idea.
I
Not
guess
a bad
so.
idea.
But dude, just the insanity of it. Would it really, if it would hit that level, just
Take him out. Take him out of here.
Take him out. Honestly,
Kind of sick.
yeah.
A memorable wedding for sure.
Get him out of here.
Get him out of here.
Oh, but Sam,
Demons, stick him.
you know what? There's something else crazy we got.
An update.
That's right. So my original post got so much attention and I got a lot of requests for an update. So here you go. I went to my brother and his husband and mentioned that there was the potential of some serious negative reactions from my fiance's family. And I asked them what they thought about my brother coming solo without his husband to my wedding.
Wait. Wait. I thought we learned.
I thought we learned.
I thought we had all had a learning moment.
Yes.
And we had learned.
It looks like you were just about to go in and ace the test.
And then you failed.
And then you failed
Wait,
it.
what
This
happened?
was pass fail.
I'm so confused. We had all of these comments saying you're the a-hole. You responded to said comment and said, oh, I'm going to take this into account and I'm going to listen. And then you fumble so hard.
Well, get ready for this, Sam. I thought I was providing a middle ground by asking them their opinion instead of just delegating who he could bring.
To be fair, that is one of the things that we brought up initially.
But no. This is an important distinction because we said, here's the situation.
Here's
Do
the
you have a
situation.
preference on what to do?
I need advice on how to navigate this.
OP says, what do you think about the
not
brother
going.
coming solo?
That is true. Because OP is making their preference, it seems like their preference known. It's like rather
Very
than
much so.
It's like, what do you think about the proper, if this was in your values, the proper thing would be to say, what do you think about you still coming?
Yeah.
With you and your boyfriend.
Or just what would you like to do? How I'm wondering how I could be supportive
exactly
in helping you
this.
figure this out.
Yeah,
Us figure this out
figuring
together.
this out. That would be a middle ground.
That's what I'm saying.
Or at least more of a middle ground.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, much more of a middle ground for sure. Unfortunately, this didn't go as planned.
That's what Reddit told you.
It didn't go as
They
planned,
literally
Sam.
told you.
And they both got super offended and said that I was discriminating against them. I told them that wasn't what I was doing. My guy, you don't get to decide that.
Yeah, I wasn't discriminating against you. I was asking if you wanted me to discriminate against you.
Exactly. Oh my God. I was asking first. I told them this wasn't what I was doing because I was coming to them first and asking what they thought and what they wanted to do, but they didn't listen, and now it's all effed. They didn't listen, or you didn't listen. My brother said he doesn't know if he still wants to come to the wedding, and his husband got in my face and told me that I needed to.
Damn.
This was a few days ago, and he still isn't talking to me. It's making me pretty upset. How do you think they feel? My fiance says I did the right thing, though. I'm trying to reach out to him closer to the wedding when things have calmed down, as I do really want him there. Anyways, everyone's responses really helped me out, and I wanted to update.
Did it?
We have some top comments.
Did the responses really help you out? Because it sounds like you didn't listen at all.
Yeah. I think people were pretty clear, and it
Yeah.
seemed like in the ones that were pointing you in this direction of hey, don't punish them. What about the family?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He could have gone to the I
It's like
really
you had
think
time to think about it too. It's like,
yeah. I really think, this is the conclusion we both came to, but you go to the family first because there is a possibility that OP never has to burden the brother with this, and he gets the parents to
exactly
agree not to do anything, and he's like, perfect, now
punish the people who are bad.
punish the people who are bad. Punish the people who are bad.
But again, I understand being emotionally clouded because of how much stuff you have to deal with at a wedding, and there's a lot of expectations and emotions of a bunch of these family members to manage. I understand that.
I have empathy for OP in this moment, for sure.
I have empathy that OP is maybe not set up for success.
It's a tough thing to do, and again, ultimately, this is your day, but also, like Sam
What do you
always
want
says,
that day to represent?
What? Ooh, that's a great question. What do you want that day to represent? And like, what would you do? Like, if I'm in this situation, yeah, I want to protect my sister.
Yeah,
that's the person who I love and have this
Yeah.
close relationship with, and all these things. But we have some more relevant comments. Radio Supply says, "We told you so." I don't know, man. Shrug emoji. They did tell him so.
They did.
They did tell him so.
They did. You did not listen.
National Mouse says, seriously, and your fiance said you did the right thing. Literally over 1,700 comments of people telling you how wrong it was to disinvite your brother. He has every right to be upset. You screwed up big time. Evil Ginger says, OP, am I the a-hole? The entire internet, you're the a-hole. And here's why. Also, OP, how was I the a-hole?
Yeah,
Funny.
you didn't learn.
Didn't learn. Apple of my eye says, you're the a-hole. You really didn't learn anything from your last thread. Your brother saw right through you. That you even considered asking your brother to leave his husband at home to appease your bigoted in-laws, told your brother everything he needed to know, and you were cowardly about it. But now your brother has solved your dilemma for you, and your in-laws will have a dandy time at your wedding. And that is it. That is the conclusion of the story. We don't know if the wedding happens or what, but
You just made the wrong decision.
dude, he had he got the tools. It was looking
so good. We were
Yes.
so optimistic.
we love a good teachable moment.
Yes.
Let's come together. Let's hear each other's sides.
This is
Word.
what this is for. It's like, I am unsure, I need help, and then we hope the internet can give you some help. And they did. And OP took this gold nugget and flushed it down the toilet.
It's okay to not know something, not be aware of something, be ignorant about a thing, but then learn and be like, this is good information. I'm going to use this and
Yeah.
do something good with it.
Yeah. Like, it's
That's right.
okay to ignore subscribing maybe once or twice.
Maybe once or twice, but
3 times, 4 times?
When
You've
we tell you
watched
every
more
episode.
than 4 videos and you haven't subscribed? What are you doing? Subscribe.
guys, let's make this official.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Or you're uninvited to my wedding.
Ouch. And mine.
But I
And
am
Riley's.
inviting you to this next story.
Let's get it.
Am I the a-hole for telling my wife to never volunteer me to help her family again?
Sam? What?
Huh?
Just 1 millisecond ago you were Sam, and then the next second you were...
No, I wasn't. What are you talking about, John?
Are you gaslamping me?
John, is your memory acting up again? I knew it. So, moving day, Am I the a-hole says, my wife, 38 female, and I, 39 male, have been married for 8 years and have a 4-year-old son. My wife's younger brother, Joe, and his girlfriend are moving into an apartment together at the beginning of June. But girlfriend's lease is up at the end of April, so she needed to move out of her place. But Joe currently lives in a studio apartment, so he doesn't have room for all her stuff. So they were going to move all of girlfriend's stuff into a storage unit for a month until they get their new place together.
I don't like where this is heading.
I'm sensing a little thing called...
I see you.
Ah!
I see you in the comments.
I'm
You know this,
sensing a little
Sophia.
thing called I see you. A little over a month ago, Joe had asked my wife if we would be able to help them move girlfriend's stuff, and she agreed. My mother-in-law was supposed to watch our son so we could both help, but she fell ill and had to cancel. My wife suggested trying to get a babysitter for the day, but I didn't want to spend hundreds on a babysitter to help someone move. That's dumb. How much are you paying your babysitters?
Yeah, and are you
I
hiring?
guess well. I mean,
Apparently.
good on you.
yeah.
And bringing a 4-year-old with us would not be helpful to anyone. This turned into an argument between us because she said I should help them move while she watches our son since I'm stronger than she is and I know how to drive our truck with the trailer.
That just gets my gears going right there. I cannot believe that.
You don't
You would
have
say that.
to. Hey, Sophia.
Hey.
You know me. I am just
No, I don't.
I'm just so lousy at putting together this whole like dinner concept.
Yeah.
Of you take ingredients, you put it in the pan, you season it, you
Yeah.
saute it, all these things. I'm tragically terrible. You know how to cook.
That's true.
You know how to cook. So you should obviously, you know what? Not just cook every meal for me, the whole house, right? Because you know how to cook. We don't know how to cook. You should be obligated to that, right?
I guess you're right.
We're entitled to that, aren't we?
I guess so.
Wrong! Absolutely wrong. Unacceptable.
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 Unacceptable! And do better.
Do better.
Quite frankly, John.
Quite frankly. You're right. Hey, me? Do better.
Me from the past? Do better. Rewind this video? Do better.
You know what? I'm going to kick myself out.
Now that we have that negative energy out of the studio, I can keep reading this story. I told her that she should help them and have them rent a U-Haul for the day. We compromised by telling Joe that I would help them, but they needed to get a U-Haul instead of using our truck and trailer. Then, the morning of the move, this past Saturday, my wife told me that a friend of hers got sweet tickets through work to a hockey game for the day and invited them. Yes, sweet tickets to a playoff hockey game. Whoa.
Calm down.
Hold your horses. She said she would be bringing our son since her friend was bringing her kids too. Hold on.
Yeah, break this down for me.
So OP's wife was like, hey, my sister and her husband have all this stuff they need moving.
Mm-hmm.
You're so strong and buff. Can you do that? And her husband was like, well, I feel like maybe we should do this together because they're, you're related to them. This is your sister.
Yeah.
And she was like, let's compromise and you do it all. And I go to a hockey game.
What a brilliant solution. You do hard manual labor and I will go enjoy myself.
Isn't that the best solution?
Now that's a compromise. That's
Everybody
a compromise.
wins.
Everybody wins, right?
So not only do I get stuck helping someone move, but my wife and son get to go have an amazing experience together that I miss out on. And yes, this was my son's first major sporting event, and I was missing it.
Dude, that's
He's like 4. He's probably going to be like,
Right, that'd be so great, so cute, so awesome. Oh.
And wouldn't you know, Joe never got a U-Haul. And his girlfriend wasn't even close to packed up and ready when I got there. I'm realizing that I think this is the wife's brother, not sister. I spent 7 to 8 hours, oh my God, and multiple trips back and forth helping them move. All the while, my wife is sending pictures to our family group chat of how much fun they're having at the hockey game.
Bruh.
Rubbing his face in it. When everyone was home that night, my wife was surprised that I wasn't in a good mood. She said that I acted like I barely cared when our son was telling us about the hockey game and how much fun it was. I asked her if she was seriously confused about why I was upset, and she told me to tell her. So I started railing off all the reasons I had to be pissed off. She volunteered me to help. She got to spend the day doing something very special with her son that I missed out on. Her brother and his girlfriend were not prepared, and I had to spend the entire day doing manual labor. I ended my little rant by telling her that she is never going to volunteer me to help her family ever again. She told me I was overreacting, and I can't hold it against her that her friend invited them to the game. She also said I'm not being fair by blaming her for Joe and his girlfriend. And that's the end of the story.
Bruh.
Yikes.
Bruh.
No, OP is definitely not the a-hole if that was ever in question.
Yeah,
OP's wife is the a-hole.
OP's wife is the a-hole. The brother and sister-in-law,
Yeah.
I believe the brother and sister-in-law are totally the a-hole. This is your own problem.
Yeah.
This
Figure it
is
out.
your own problem. Now. I don't think there's anything wrong now with going around to your siblings, your friends, whatever, and saying, hey, we're moving. Would you possibly be open to helping come? We'll, buy some great dinner afterwards and hang and whatever else. Like,
Totally fine.
are you able to come? If not, no worries. We're going to figure it out. There's nothing wrong with asking.
Nothing.
But there's something very wrong with dang near volunteering someone else.
Volunteering
Yeah.
someone else.
As tribute.
Yeah.
Right?
Saying, well, I've got a strong man right here.
Yep.
And he's got a truck. He can do it.
He can do it. He
I'm
can
going to
drive
go to
it.
the hockey game.
Figure it out.
Do better.
like hire a moving company.
Yeah. Well,
Because-
that's what he said he wanted them to do. At least a U-Haul. So they didn't have to pack it all in his truck.
At a minimum, the proper
Yeah.
equipment you have to, maybe not have to have, but
Yeah.
like will make it 10 times more efficient. Yeah, I would have just been like, no.
Yeah. So like you get there, you go, no.
Because there's like people who would do it right and be like, hey, let's do it. Let's, like, if Riley was helping me move
A sectional.
super quick, okay, story time.
Yeah.
I'm pissed at him.
We got this giant U-shaped sectional. It's amazing. Sophia, we have to
I've yet to see it.
gotta
Yeah.
come over. We have to have a movie night or something. Honestly, a 10x superior couch to the one we have here.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
It is right.
I love sectionals, and it is the best
It's
sectional I've
got
been on in LA.
two fully like
Mhm.
over leg length like
You can sprawl
leg
out.
areas, sprawling
You can have 4
Sprawling.
people sprawl out on that thing.
straight
Wow.
up. And literally Naima, my girlfriend, found it 5:30 p.m. on a Sunday. 6 p.m. we were there with a U-Haul that we had just instantly rented, and we moved it ourselves,
Wow.
which was not easy.
No,
You
I
didn't even
can't
ask me.
imagine it.
And we didn't want to. We talked about like, are we really gonna bother? Riley's already working so hard. We don't want to call him at 6 p.m. on a Sunday and be like, hey, can you like come help us? It was our own responsibility.
I would have loved to.
Which, back to the story,
Yeah.
should have been the brother and sister-in-law's responsibility. Nothing wrong with asking a friend.
Yeah.
But you got to be super respectful and super open to
Yeah.
if they're not opening or if they don't want to or can't, let them live.
Let
Let
them
them live their life.
And that's not what they did.
And that's not what they did.
Mm-mm-mm.
And that's really that to me.
And that is that to me.
Plain, cut, and simple and dry. But you know what's
Simpler
so simple?
and maybe even plainer.
Subscribing.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's right.
It is so plain and simple.
That's right. It's the simplest thing on earth.
Hold on, John. I'm going to do it right now.
Wait.
You haven't subscribed?
No, I have like 4 different YouTube accounts.
And you haven't subscribed with all 4?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Wow.
Hold on. Ooh. Subscribed.
Wow.
Wait. Hold on.
Wait.
I've got another account.
No.
Hold on. Oh, already subscribed.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Already subscribed.
Okay.
All right, that's all my accounts.
All right, there we
We're good
go.
now.
So guys,
Yeah.
create 4 accounts. Go subscribe right
Yeah.
now.
I just showed you how easy it was.
It was so simple. It was so easy.
And you know what's even funnier?
What?
I wasn't subscribed before. And that might be you too. You might have been watching. You might even be working for OKOP.
You literally might host the show and
You
not
might
even realize.
live in OKOP house and not be subscribed.
And to be fair, you might watch us all the time and like thought you've subscribed because you've
Yeah.
just watching for months and you're like,
Yeah.
gosh, golly darn, I haven't subscribed yet, so just do it. It's beautiful.
Just do
It's
it.
simple.
Go check. Go check on your multiple accounts.
And what else is beautiful that we should check in on
What?
is this next story.
Oh,
All right, let's do this.
it's hot in here. Sorry.
It's getting hot in here, so keep on all your clothes.
All right, read.
Am I the a-hole for dropping my daughter off at my mother-in-law's house and not picking her up when requested? Well, this comes from aggravating lead 5886, who says, my daughter, Tamara, 14, has been going through a terrible phase at home. I, female 38, can do nothing right. All she does is argue with me and scream.
Ah.
Yeah. She will not do her chores, and she makes life harder for me and her little brother, 12. I was 14 once, so I remember what it's like to be that age. I am doing my best to get her through this. I may not always do the best job or keep my cool with her, but I'm trying.
Do you
Do I?
remember what it was like to be that age?
Oh, heck yeah, I do. I sure do. Are you trying to insinuate something?
No.
Are you trying to suggest something?
No.
Is there a certain
No.
joke you're trying to make?
No.
It's just been a while, right? Like,
for us all.
Really?
If you think about
yeah,
it.
but longer
really.
for some than others.
No, not really.
Really?
Not really when I think about it. Yeah.
Well, what do you remember about that age?
Dude, I remember everything. I remember being in drumline, playing drums, still play drums to this day, connected to that.
There you have it.
I remember wearing glasses. I still wear glasses.
There you have it.
I remember so much. Eating in the courtyard, eating pizza, getting the fries.
There you have it. Beautiful.
My husband is out of town right now. His mom, however, lives a couple of towns over and has decided to chime in. Yes, my daughter Tamara called her when I was grounding her for skipping school and vaping weed with her D-Gen friends.
Vaping weed with the D-Gen friends.
That's hilarious.
She's all my kids. She's always vaping weed.
Always vaping here, vaping there,
she
vaping
thinks
everywhere.
She's cool or something with the friends.
I can't see with all these clouds.
Oh boy,
Oh.
she's smoking drugs.
Oh God, the reefer, but it's digital. I took away all her screen privileges. Very parent thing to say, except her laptop, which she needs for school. I am a dummy because she calls her grandmother on it. Honestly, bro, like you just got to go straight Amish.
Yeah.
If you want to go like no screens, no digital, you just got to go straight Amish.
Yeah.
There's just no other
Yeah,
option.
because computer, that's the main source of
Everything.
online.
You gotta find another punishment.
Yeah.
Low key. My mother-in-law, Helen, is usually a level-headed woman, so I have no idea why she decided that her parenting advice is wanted or warranted at this time. She said that I am being cruel to her poor baby girl and that I should not be trying to control her like this. I said that I was punishing my daughter for unacceptable behavior and that how I reprimanded my child was not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Dre. She countered with the fact that she raised 4 children, all boys, by the way, that she did not have to punish this way. I know her youngest was out of the house before smartphones. So
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, does that even apply?
Dude, honestly, smartphones and just like all the stuff they have, it just completely changes the game,
Yeah.
to be honest.
I don't
to
think
be
I'm
honest.
gonna have. Well, yeah. I was gonna say I don't think I'm gonna have like iPads in my house, but I don't know if.
But
that's
Candy
gonna
Crush.
I don't know if that's gonna be possible because I feel
iPads, yeah.
Yeah.
But like having like a phone and a computer.
it might you might need to have that
But honestly, by the time we have kids, it might just be
in their brains.
in the brain.
Ah.
And then you can't take it away.
Yeah.
Here's what it could be. I'm gonna shut off your brain if you act right.
Coco Melon straight to the dome.
But mom, silenced. My daughter came into the room while I was talking to Helen, the mother-in-law, the grandma, and started screaming about what a terrible person I am, and she wants to move out as soon as she can.
Oh my God.
I'm leaving. Helen said that none of her kids ever said that, so she must be a better mother.
She must be God's gift to humanity.
Whoa, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
I asked her if she was serious and wanted to give it a shot.
No.
Yo, I'm gonna call you on your bluff, Granny. What
She said go for it.
you think you still got it, Grandma? Try me.
That's actually great. I love that response because her daughter is like, I don't want you to be my mom. And the grandma's like, I could do better. And she's like, okay.
Perfect. We
do
have a
it.
solution here. Go
You're
ahead.
the babysitter.
Tamara jumped at the opportunity and begged her grandmother to take her. Helen agreed. I drove her to Helen's house and said I would come back when my husband gets home and we can talk. Low key,
Genius.
go ahead. Because I feel
Genius.
like the grandma is going to crack under the pressure.
Yeah, no, definitely.
The grandma doesn't know what it's like to
No.
raise a kid with technology that is just, you cannot take it away.
That grandma doesn't know what it's like to raise a kid who's got D-Gen friends.
That's
and
right.
Is vaping weed.
Vaping the devil's lettuce. I dropped her off on Saturday 3 days ago. Helen started calling me on Sunday. I need to come get my daughter. I thought you were so capable.
I thought you were a better mom.
I thought you were literally the greatest mom on earth, and literally you can do no wrong, and I'm the worst mother ever. Sorry, OP says, I can't. My son and I went to visit my folks for the week. I thought it would be a good opportunity to see my parents at their farm, since my daughter hates it there, away from her friends and the city. Don't you hate these city slickers, Riley?
They should do
Yeah, they don't
slickers.
really understand.
Wait, no, she hates the farm, right?
Going out by the farm. She hates the farm.
She hates the farm.
city
There's no
slicker.
They don't
technology
know
there.
what good times are, really.
They
That's
don't have
right.
Wi-Fi at the farm.
Mm-hmm.
You want to have fun? Go shuck corn.
Check corn. That'll get you going.
You want to have fun? Go pick green beans.
Hard work. That's what this girl needs.
Candy Crush. What about Bean Crush?
Back in my day, I was never smoking weed. I was I was working.
I was out there at the wood stove.
I was
putting
out
the wood
there
in.
at the
That's
break
right.
of dawn.
That's the only smoke I saw.
I was chewing tobacco.
I didn't have DJ friends. I had cows.
The cows were my friends back in the day, and they loved me. They were far from degenerates.
They followed me everywhere.
Until it was time.
To
Oh.
them.
And they were delicious. My parents are also the last people on earth with dial-up internet. Dude, there you go. Now we're talking.
You remember that?
No, I don't.
No.
Nope. Thought you could get me. You thought you got me.
John right now.
My son does not care because he gets to play with the horses.
Aw.
It's a little early yet for fowls, but who
Foals.
knows? Foals?
Foals, like a horse foal. Fowl is a bird.
I'm allergic to horses, so
Mm.
I wouldn't know anything about
That's
that.
Burma.
Yep.
It's a Burma.
I have
Yeah.
a horrible okay story. I
Really?
will tell you, John, later.
Oh my! And my mom was a award-winning champion horseback rider.
No
Wow.
So
way.
it broke her heart. Yeah,
Aw.
yeah.
Dang.
You should have taken allergy medication.
You got shots, dog.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
took shots all of my life.
You shaming me.
Yeah.
I would now. I would
Mm,
now.
mhm.
I would now. Helen asked me to please come get Tamara. Please. She even called my husband. He called me and I told him what was going on. He said that if his mom had asked for it, then she needed to follow through.
Mm-hmm.
I love that guy. There we go. Stand by your lady.
Yes.
I also fielded calls from my two sisters-in-law. They asked me what was going on, so I told them. They asked me if I was really going to leave Tamara with our mother-in-law for another week. I said that is where she was staying unless they wanted to watch her. They both noped out without suggesting I go get her.
Nice.
Tamara and Helen each have their reasons for thinking I'm an a-hole. I do not think my daughter is. Am I the a-hole? So is that saying
I don't know.
they think I'm an a-hole, but I don't think my daughter is? Because
Guess so?
it seems like OP is saying that Tamara, her daughter, is an a-hole. She didn't say that directly,
Yeah.
but it seemed like that's kind of where she would be leaning towards. And
Yeah, maybe she's just like, I don't think my daughter's an a-hole. She just acts like it sometimes.
okay, yeah, maybe that's
don't
what it
know.
is. Okay, so let's answer the question. So first, is OP the a-hole,
No.
and why?
Yeah. No, because the grandmother said she wanted to take care of her kid. And if she said that, you got to follow through.
It's a match.
Yeah.
You guys both think I'm a terrible mother?
Go for it. Go
Have fun.
for it.
Have a
Mhm.
freaking blast.
Mhm. Yeah.
And do we think that Tamara's an a-hole?
I think she's like a kid a-hole.
Kid a-hole.
Yeah. I think she's like a 14-year-old a-hole.
There's like, it's the degree. We really got to get the official like degrees of a-hole.
Yeah.
She got
she's a
charged,
first degree a-hole.
but she got charged as a minor.
Ooh, yeah.
So there's different levels, right?
That's good, yeah.
You're going to juvie, you're
She's
not going to jail. You know what I'm saying?
Juvie, yeah.
A-hole juvie. Grandma Helen,
She's an a-hole.
she's an a-hole.
She's getting charged as
I'd
an
be a
adult.
better mother than you. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Come on.
No.
What are we doing here?
Mm-hmm.
Like I can empathize if you're like, okay, I have a different way of like parenting, but at the end of the day, as long as there's not something like really bad, abusive going on, this is their child.
Yeah.
It's also their responsibility. So on the flip side, they can't be like, oh, hey, like some stories we've seen where the parents will literally dump the kids on the grandparents all the time, and
Yeah.
the grandparents don't want or ask for that.
That's different.
That's
Yeah.
totally different. It's like, this is your responsibility, but also your like you can parent your child how you want.
Yeah, in this case, it was like the grandma saying, hey, I want to watch your child for
Yes.
an allotted amount of time.
I'm better than you.
Yeah.
I can do it better.
And the mom said, okay, you are watching her for this amount of time.
Go
Yeah.
ahead. Be my guest.
Mm-hmm.
But you know who else is our guest?
Who is our guest?
These people who drop these relevant comments.
Ah.
Little bit funny 21 says, not the a-hole. Oh, I cackled.
Mhm.
This is delicious. No, mother-in-law, you cannot undermine OP's parenting and then wuss out. Enjoy your vacation. Then please get your daughter evaluated or consider family therapy, since this level of problems sounds a bit excessive, and the fact that your daughter is messing with drugs, vaping can be a bad path she needs professional guidance to come back from. I will say, I don't know if I agree with that. I think this just might be just being a teenager.
Yeah, I will say that I knew people in freshman year of high school who were vaping, which would have been like 15. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm not, and let me refresh my memory a little bit on what Tamara's been doing. So she's not doing her chores, makes life harder for her and her little brother. All she does is argue. She's vaping.
I feel like maybe there could be something going on. I don't think
Yeah.
it's like medically evaluated something.
Yeah, no,
But I mean, better safe than sorry. Maybe.
I guess there it like I kind of feel like it's what are they yelling at you if they're like, oh, you're so annoying,
Yeah.
door slam. Okay, this is just
Yeah.
she's just being a teen and whatever else. If she's like if it's several levels up from
Mhm.
that and it's constant and it's literally never anything civil, then possibly.
Yeah.
I think it's possible, but I just from what we've read so far, it's not super clear to me that it's at that level.
Yeah, I don't think so quite yet.
And the vaping, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Come on.
It's the kids will be doing these
Yeah.
things.
No, like so many kids. I don't think it's good.
No,
to be
we're
clear.
not saying it's good.
Don't vape, kids.
Yeah, but like a lot of
But yeah,
people
a
go
lot
through
of
these
people
little
are doing
phases and whatever, and it's really not a big deal. It's part of being a teenager, whatever. Doodling, in my opinion. Doodling Zebra says, agreed. I agree with all the comments that mom is not the a-hole, which is OP, and totally sympathize with what a nightmare situation she's in and what a nightmare parenting can be as a whole. But I feel like Tamara's best interests are being left out of the conversation a little. It sounds like she needs some kind of help. So what I will say is, like we always say on this podcast, go get therapy.
Yeah,
Like,
I feel like therapy couldn't hurt.
yeah, because like I think everyone, to me, therapy is not like, oh my God, like I'm not going to go to the doctor until my leg is broken and sticking straight up. It's like, hey, you know, I could use some improvement and I want to learn more about myself and like just, it's like going to see a nutritionist. Like everyone can do a little better in their nutrition and can, you know, and can get some support.
Sure.
Everyone deserves a little support. So like it sounds like Tamara would probably shoot down the idea of therapy. I don't, is therapy cool to the kids these days?
I think so.
I think so, right? That's what I think. So
Yeah.
I would offer that
Mhm.
and see if she takes it. Maybe that helps.
I think it could help. I think any sort of therapy is always a good idea. If you're sensing, you know, your teen becoming wily.
You know what, Sophia? I agree. I do not disagree.
Whew.
And I also agree that if you love us, you should make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And
see
say
you
tomorrow!
tomorrow!